All right. You guys know what time it is. It's time, once again, for Validation Boy live stream. June 21st, 2017. Oh, yeah. In VB's little critics corner, little dark corner, the smallest corner on the face of the Flat Earth plane. Flat Earth YouTube plane. There's not much going on. There's only a couple key points of interest this week. I wanted to talk about 4 Flat Earth celebrities. Gotta excuse me, I'm getting over this horrible fucking cold. You know, people all over the damn world seem to have just gone through the same thing I went through. I was watching Jed's stream from a couple hours ago, and he looked like he had the exact same fucking cold that I have. You know, I tolerated listening to Jed's entire hour-long live stream. I got to tell you guys something. For some reason, Jed's last live stream talking about Coke and Mentos, I'll put a link to it. That fucker, that motherfucker, okay? About 99% of that show was quality shit. I told him, I was like, this might be your best episode you've ever had. He pointed out a lot of very interesting things, you know? And it was like funny because when I was watching the same thing that he watched in his video that he just put out, he was watching a conversation between IPS Timmy and Ed Upside Down Head and a couple other people, which I guess now I'll have to link in this too. I think that's from Tim Osman's channel. Some kind of OBS hangout, multifaceted fucking thing. Well, it's new tech all you young kids want to fucking use. All the things that were being asked of IPS were really solid questions, and a lot of fucking truth was revealed in that episode. Okay, a lot of truth about people and their motives and their actions was revealed in that episode. In that episode, IPS was asked something, and he admitted the fact that he's essentially about to leave Flat Earth. And, you know, Jed was saying it looks to him as though IPS isn't even really a Flat Earther and was just here to make a quick buck. I mean, I'm not here to rag out IPS, but like, any of you know about my last stream, I spent the whole time dogging out the guy, and then I had Nathan on and everything. But it's not even about that anymore, you know. I was just pissed off at some bullshit games he tried to play with me at my expense. Turns out the guy's going to leave. I mean, that's his business. I'm not encouraging anybody to leave or to stay, you know. But if he leaves, it takes a lot of weight off a lot of people's chests, off a lot of people's shoulders, you know. IPS is a very heavy fucking presence, you know. And we got people like Dan Pratt, who is so skeptical. Now he's envisioning a scenario where IPS and Tim Osman might actually be working with each other. I don't know. I don't really know, man. It's all so suspicious, so suspect, so strange. The odd behaviors. We'll get to Timmy later. There's another video I'm going to have to link in here too, from a very small YouTube channel that last night had, I think less than 100 subs, and today has over 170. I'm not sure about that stat, but I remember last night looking for this channel, hoping that they had uploaded certain content that we knew from other people's content that they had, that they were in possession of. Waiting and waiting for this person to upload it, and I guess finally today they did. We'll get to that later. Anyways. Yeah, Jed was saying a lot of very intelligent stuff. You know, IPS, you know, it's funny Jed said that PMARS shit his pants or something when IPS started talking about black magic that he purports to practice on people. You know, at times I've believed in it. At times I've been very skeptical of it. But who really knows, you know, when you're fucking with energies and stuff. I would hope nobody would ever put a fucking hex on me over some YouTube drama. If it's even possible to. But I feel like even talking about it gives it too much credence. But what he was also talking about was lesser magic. And I think that that's something that's a lot more important to look at when you're being skeptical of somebody, especially somebody who is in the arena of something like flat earth, something that's a spiritual thing, as well as a heavily scientific thing, something that has such huge implications, something with such power and weight behind it. Well, when you see people getting involved in it and taking top positions in it, getting a lot of notoriety, getting a lot of greed, one thing to look at is their possible spiritual motivations behind whatever they're doing, behind whatever it is that they are doing. With IPS saying that he's about to leave, saying that he's going to go be a ghostwriter somewhere, and then having done all this stuff that he's done, and then also having admitted to whoever asked him the question in this hangout, the fact that flat earth was just a sidetracked thing for him. He was researching something else. He came across it. He got a little too involved. Now he's pretty much backing out. It's all very impactful and unlike anything we've ever seen from any other top flat earth personalities. It's easy for people to want to assume that a lot of IPS and everything he's done is staged, or not staged, but is just all a contrivance. It's all a statement that this guy is trying to make, or somebody is trying to make by using this guy. I've said it myself. It's bullshit how, well, I don't know. It's bullshit how brown shirt everything seems to have gotten. And it's funny to hear IPS call other people fascists and stuff when all he does is play straight from the fascist playbook. You guys got to understand. Leftism, liberalism, fascism, communism, socialism, all these things that are not individualism or individual liberties based system of beliefs, they're all the same thing. Our modern Republicans, okay, are leftists. They're fascists, okay? There is no conservatives left anymore. And conservatives, the only real conservatives that are left are people who understand what slavery is and how pretty much everyone is, for the most part, entrapped. And they're even able to take it to deeper levels and realize that not only do they serve their evil masters here by giving all their time and energy to them in the form of work and money acquisition, but that also there's even a higher master that, as long as we want to stay alive, you have no choice but to honor, observe, recognize, and fall before, and that's our creator. A lot of people are scared away by IPS saying that he does black magic on people. It's kind of the same thing that Beyonce and Katy Perry do when they put the triangles and the pyramids and the all-seeing eye and the demons and the fire and the blood drinking and the child rape and the floating of bodies and the pissing and all the nasty stuff. It's the same exact thing. They're like rubbing it in your face, scaring you into believing that they actually are these Satanists that do these horrible things, when in reality, they just sit in a hotel room and do drugs all night, take a shit, screw a bunch of, whoever the kind of people that they want to screw, do disgusting things with people, do more drugs, and then get up the next day and play concerts or go on TV and be a TV star. That's what these people's lives are. They're not really sitting around doing satanic shit. Or maybe they are. We don't really fucking know. See, it's all lore. It's all just to make you think. that you need to be scared and stuff. So PMARS, don't worry. Take it easy. I really don't think IPS is going to put evil hexes on you or any of us. We could talk about the fact that, let me see, I got my notes. Okay. Once again, a big point that I need to make, and I heard some other people making it, but it's based on some shit I said a long time ago. Or, maybe it's one of those synchronicities where people finally get around to realizing things the exact same way that you do. You, the listener, each individual one of you. I got to get back to the whole political right-left thing. Well, no, I already covered that, how the fascist tactics are being used. And the banning of everybody. And I popped into IPS once live. I barely ever listened to him, but I popped in once live. I don't know what episode it was. It was a couple days ago or something. Listened for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And all I heard was IPS talking about, okay, if you're not vetted by me, you're not even allowed in this chat. It was like the ultimate echo chamber of all times. It was like the worst possible, least productive possible scenario you could ever create for your alleged mission of moving flat Earth forward. It was an exact opposite. It was a total and complete insult to flat Earth. And I guess IPS has had his fun, and now he wants to leave, and that's fine. I can't hate on the guy. The guy came in, he did a whole bunch of not crazy stuff, a whole bunch of really powerful stuff that proved a whole bunch of points. And maybe those points weren't proven on the immediate, but maybe as a little bit of time passes, everyone will see the point behind basically this social engineering experiment that IPS tried to pull on the Flat Earth YouTube community with his presence and with his, he is an artist. He writes books and shit. Why wouldn't he want to do this? And then maybe he can even write a book about the whole thing. If he even is a writer. He seems like he could be a writer, though, because he could just talk a lot. He could just never stop. I got to talk about, okay, something I want to talk about from a long time ago. Here's the thing, okay? I said this in a video, which I've deleted. Not deleted, but I've put on private. It was called, Contemporary Conspiracy Theorist. That was the title of the video. And it was about a discussion I had off air with John LeBon, some young kid somewhere who was a complete and utter science-worshipping, normie, globy kid. And I think Matrix or somebody was there. Excuse me. And this point was being argued about balloon launches and how people use them to observe like a flat plane, which a lot of them, you see them, it does. You don't really see curvature. It doesn't look like a ball. It looks just like a kind of like a big flat plane with, just that fades into the distance, like in a realm that you just kind of can't see it because it's just a realm. That footage, okay, it does, even if it does show a flat Earth, okay, it can be argued. I know there's tons of balloon footage, tons of rocket footage by now. There's tons of them, tons of those videos, and some have the GoPro, some don't have the GoPro, which is great, and it can be argued both ways. You can cut and splice the video, not cut and splice. You can closely examine the videos and see whatever it is that you want to see with your bias going in. You could see flatness or you could see curve with your bias going in. So that's not even proof. Plus, the main point in all this thing about the camera and the balloons is that, excuse me, hold on. Okay, is that even if it does show a curve or flatness according to your bias, even if it does, it doesn't matter because you're only getting a partial view of the sample. You're only getting a partial view of the object we're trying to observe. It fades into the distance. It looks like a realm. Okay, it just fades away. You just can't see it anymore because of the air or whatever the fuck it is. It might not even be the air. It might be a fucking, we've never been out there. So it might be a black fog that you can walk through and fucking maybe even transmogrify yourself into a non-physical, existence. Shit, it could be interdimensional. We don't fucking know. This really could just be a magical fucking realm. But anyways. Twitwit says, try some Sudafed cold BB. Here's the thing. Sudafed, okay, this is not an advertisement for Sudafed. It's just funny that the viewer here says that. Sudafed, okay, NyQuil is a joke. Chlorotrip, whatever the fuck, it's all a joke. When you have congestion because of a cold or a flu and your shit's congested and there's no way to get air through your nose, the only thing you ever fuck with is behind-the-counter Sudafed. Extra strength, 12-hour release. You take one of those within about an hour, okay? For some people, if it's real bad, or if you're a smoker, or if you're in a dusty environment and your nose is still getting irritated, it's going to take a little while for it to kick in. But for me, it kicks in 35 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. It kicks in, and all of a sudden, all your fucking sinuses and everything shrink back to their normal fucking size. All the mucus all comes out and stays out. And then any more that builds up, it just comes out freely. You don't have to worry about it for 12 fucking hours. You breathe like a fucking champ. Thing is, I love that shit so much, okay, that I only use 3 days. I'll wait till the end of the day because I'll take the 12-hour like at 10 at night, stay up for a couple more hours. I go to bed, fully breathing, great. Wake up the next day, I'm still feeling the effects of it. Then into the afternoon, all the way until 10 the next night. I don't need it for those whole other 12 hours because it just stays with you. It really just stays with you. And plus, that's the active part of your day. So you're just up, you're doing things, you're breathing a lot more, you're forgetting about your congestion, and you fucking get rid of all your congestion. I use it for 3 days max, and then I put it away. And every 2 years, I have to buy it. You can only buy it 2 times per year, I think, because they make you register your name, because it's the same stuff that's used to make meth and crazy upper drugs, crazy like street drugs, uppers and shit. So you're only allowed to buy it once in a while. You have to register your fucking name, show your ID, all that shit. But that makes sense though, because people could try to take a bunch of these and get like a high off of it. It does give you a little bit of an edge sometimes, It give you a little edgy, make you a little nervy, a little nervous and shit, because it's so powerful. It's such a high grade fucking stimulant. That shit is a fucking miracle. Sudafed is a fucking miracle. Rob S says Coke works too. Coca-Cola, right? The bubbles, the fizz clears up your sinuses, right? That's what you meant. All right, let's do the fucking first 5. And no, I'm not going to read all of Vlad's 17 accounts there. No, he has about 4 or 5 extra accounts in there. But in at number 1, Flat Still Earth, Kittens of the Flat Still Earth, Vlad the Globe Impaler. In at number 1. In at number 2, OJ McBaggins. In at number 3, Schlumminger. In at number 4, Rob S. And in at number 5, who was it? Oh, how could I forget? A guy who, if he wanted to, could be number 1 every single time. You bitches. End quote. Okay? And that is the infamous, the ever wise, the ever lovable, the ever heartwarming, the ever admirable They Lie, Ohio. And that rounds out the top 5. So, all right, back to the subject at hand and shit. All right. So, the rocket only gives you a fucking partial view. The rocket only gives you a section of visibility. In the distance, it fades. It doesn't prove anything. Unfortunately, guys. Unfortunately, it doesn't prove anything for the flat Earth. It doesn't prove anything for the globe Earth. Toss it out the window. Okay, not only that. The whole thing is that by by doing this thing, you got to watch Jed's and Tim's videos. They ask the questions, you know. I mean, so it turns out that this dude is just some kind of guy who wants to do rocket stuff, and he has nothing to do with flat Earth. And IPS apparently, or whoever, somebody put it all together, or they all worked as a team and put it all together, that a $7,500 decal was going to be placed on some dude's rocket who doesn't care about flat Earth at all, and that this now makes the rocket a flat Earth thing. But then I heard that the rocket's only going to go so high because, you know, and that it's nothing special. Now, you know, I can't even break it down any better than Jed Skeptic Media. That fucking son of a bitch broke it down. He broke it down good. Okay. And I don't know, he might be coming from a place of disdain for IPS. He might not really even harbor any bad feelings for anybody out here anymore. I see him looking like he wants to back away. He said he wants to back away. I don't know if it's fear, if it's just boredom. Jed does look like he's kind of bored. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. One more funny thing about fucking Jed. In one of his last live streams, I don't know if it's still up. He seems to be deleting them all lately. He deleted one with P. Mars talking trash about me. I'd love to have seen that. I never got a chance to see it. But he has one in there when he was talking about how when I had Nathan Oakley on my last live stream, that I finally grew a little bit of a spine back, you know, grew back a little bit of my spine. And that I and I was showing, you know, some intellectual honesty in his fucked up opinion for the first time in a while. Okay. But then, really, out of the other side of his fucking mouth, okay, he goes and he says in his one that I'm talking about right now, that I'll link below, he talks about how when P. Mars was shaken up by IPS, and how when Timmy was totally sucking up to IPS, not sucking up, but just being all brotherly and shit, that that everyone was turning into a bunch of VBs, okay? Like as if I'm someone who does the kissing up. Now you got to understand, Jed, that when I thank people for having them on my show, I genuinely thank them. And I do genuinely appreciate them having them on. If it's from the smallest channel to the biggest channel, you know, it's an honor to have everybody on here because they're going to say cool, wise shit. They're going to. And they took the time out of their fucking life, get on my fucking show and offer up opinion and know that if they're on here, they better bring it, because I'm not going to tolerate dumb shit. You know, I'm not going to tolerate stupid guests. I even had Timmy on here because he was so good that I felt like, yeah, maybe I'll have him as a guest. That was a long time ago. The video's on private. Good luck, you know, finding it. But I genuinely fucking appreciate my guests. And even though me and Nathan weren't really seeing eye to eye, it was still an honor to have him on there, because he's someone whose opinions hold their own merit now. But all his opinion, anything he says, does have the potential to hold its own merit, just like anything Jed says has its own full potential to hold as much merit as possible. Okay, not saying that it does or that certain things do or don't. I'm saying any information anyone puts out there has the opportunity to bear merit. So people can change a little bit. In a year and a half from now, what's Nathan going to think about what IPS said to him about person XYZ or situation XYZ in flat Earth? Who fucking knows? Okay. So it is an honor still. How do we know any guest that I've had on here will not go on to become a fucking mayor or a fucking, you know, someone who's really fucking has a lot of notoriety for doing some other great thing for humankind? And I don't like to use the word human because of some Isa Mahalski said once. It made me second guess ever using that word human. But, you know, for mankind, womankind, humanity, some great achievement. Who's to know that one of my guests won't one day go on to greatness? So it's a fucking honor to have everybody. It's an honor to, I mean, we're on a fucking social platform where we put our faces on a camera and we talk to the screen. And then you know, Jed's ugly face will be on the other side, for example, you know. And we'll see it. People will watch it. People will watch us just talk our thoughts out. I mean, shit, I got 23 viewers right now watching me talk my thoughts out. Off the cuff, you know, talking about this whole scene. Talking about the names, the people, the thoughts, the deep thoughts that every motherfucker out here is having. The vanity, the narcissism, the egos, the pitfalls, the fucking follies, you know, the unmentionables. All right, anyways. Okay. So bottom line is this, though. You know, I'm about to take a break here, but and bottom line of this whole section of the show is this. You know, IPS is funding this, helping fund this crazy dude's fucking rocket. Is it necessarily the best thing for everybody to get behind? I don't know. I feel like what IPS is doing is making a mockery and growing a literal army of lemmings who will do and say as Darth Fuhrer fucking commands and shit. Because they're all good little brown shirts. All of them with their little wrenches and their little, you know, co-subbing and their fucking blind support of one another's fucking shit, you know, and faux activism, as I like to call it. Within the system type of activism, you know, that still supports the system. It's faux activism. It's mod, you know, it's a modified activism. I did the top 5. Okay. You know. And then there's one more thing. Okay. Yeah. Jed's saying that people are becoming VBs as if I'm some kind of coward who like cowers to people or ever has. I don't know if you ever saw this whole thing I did a long time ago called Flat Earth Cutthroats, or another one I did right after it called Flat Earth, the Top Brass. I don't know if Jed understands that that's perfect example of how Validation Boy has always operated, right out front. Okay. And, you know, it's hard to try to attack Jed or anything like that, or even talk trash about Jed, but, you know, he's a smart guy. He's right on the cusp of being right on the level. And I'm sure he'd probably say the same thing about me. I don't know, maybe not. He'd probably try to demoralize me and put me way down here, you know, unlike him, you know, think that he's so great. But, I mean, deep inside, Jed Skeptic knows damn well better than that to even try to think that that's the reality, that that's the truth. And anyways, even if, okay, no. But, so the fact that I honor people on here, I had Daylight Ohio. I've had Flat Still Earth, okay? Good people, you know what I'm saying? I've had Cathexis on here. I've had many people. I've had Nathan Oakley on here. People I believe have basically overall decent to good intentions on an overall, on an arch, on an arc, on a curve, as in like a grade curve. Rob S says 6th place is first loser. Oh man, all right. So I'm gonna go try to, let me see if I can check out this live chat. I don't know how much my device is gonna allow me to see, but I'm taking about 5 minutes, guys. I will be right back. I've got 2 more whole segments of things that I want to talk about. One personally close to my heart. The other more of a joyful and more public type of a situation that it will be entertaining for Validation Boy to discuss in its Flat Earth community psychology, I guess, based talk show here called Validation Boy fucking live stream. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're back. You've successfully found the deepest, darkest corner of the flat Earth YouTube scene. Deepest, darkest fucking place. There's been a lot of people in here. We've had Rob S. Schlominger. We've had Twitwit, 5 cents for Globe Earth Evidence, Cigar Face. A lot of people in here. Dick Trippin' Balls has joined us. The infamous, the powerful Dick Trippin' Balls. Charlotte 1966 has joined us and says, 5 cents, go fuck yourself. There seems to be a new theme for the night, according to 5 cents for Globe Earth Proof. And it has something to do with Twit's muddy thumbs. I don't know what he's talking about, though. So anyways, I promised I'd talk about, a certain character. Let's just say it. John LeBon. Okay. It's funny, Prevarication Detector, thanks for joining the show, has asked, whatever happened to you and John LeBon's 3-hour show where he did his OBS test? And it turned into a real show with like a great, great conversation. And thing is, he just doesn't want to put it up because I kind of deconstructed his gimmick. I kind of like solved the riddle of John LeBon, at least a big part of the riddle of John LeBon, for all the people that are skeptics of John LeBon. And excuse me, the answer to the riddle is this. Okay, I heard P. Mars was hating on me for this point that I made too, or that I'm trying to make, or that I made in the show that he refuses to put up. Let's see. Yeah. I have to really think about, all I did was give myself a little notes here. I have to really kind of like process. Think about how I want to say things sometimes. So excuse me for the lull, guys, He won't put the show up because I broke it down. Here's his gimmick, okay? He likes to take a situation or a picture that's being painted, a situation, a theoretical situation, a rhetorical situation, a practical situation, and break it down. Anything that you can, anything that you want to throw at him. He likes to play this trick where he breaks it down, divides it between its microcosmic elements and its macrocosmic elements, if there are any, okay? And then he tries to use the fluke that occurs in, say, a microcosmic level that does not occur in a macrocosmic level, such as water curving, okay? And he tries to use that fluke in the micro to disprove or discredit the macro, okay? And to be intellectually honest, we have to divide things when we're going to analyze their behaviors or what they prove, okay? Now, there's this whole school of flat earth out there that relies heavily on the concept of flat water, flat earth, basically, that water doesn't curve, okay? Now, John LeBon put out a video, and he said that because ocean tides rise and fall at different measurable points, that this disproves either disproves flat water or proves that water is not flat, proves the idea that water is not flat, or disproves the idea that water is flat. And I don't know if he goes so far as to project the idea. I don't remember now, but I don't remember if he went so far as to project the idea that water curves into the whole, thing that he was trying to present. But I think he might have. Pretty sure he might have. Either way, I left a comment on his video and I said something along the lines of, um, uh, external forces being pressed on water from the ocean, causing ebb and flow, causing rising and lowering and movements and general generally consistent mass, movements like the oceans, with the jet stream and all that stuff. These forces that are being pressed on the water, we can't really prove where they're coming from, can we? But that's another issue. Regardless, other forces are being pressed on this water. And that's why it ebbs and flows. That ebb and flow is not a curve. Now, during the show, I said, hey, he's like, what do you want to talk about? I said, let's talk about the comment I left on your video that destroyed your video. The argument you're making in your video. And so he's like, yeah, okay. So he reads my comment. And then he tries to ask me, okay, so does water curve? And that's where the shit hit the fucking fan. Okay. Intellectually. Okay. And it became a big, ordeal. Because here's the thing. In the end, I'm going to sum it all up. I'm going to sum up all the crap. He just kept trying to say, does water curve? Does water curve? And then whenever I would say anything back, he would say, define the curve. And I was saying, no, you define curve. And he's like, no, it's your argument. I'm like, it's not my argument. It's most flat earthers' argument. I said, I can't speak for everyone. I'll try to. Generally, water is fucking flat. You go to the fucking beach, okay? If you lived on the East Coast of the United States, or even the West Coast of Florida, or even the West Coast, anywhere, East, West Coast of any continent, okay? You look out on certain days when it's calm enough, and you see fucking flatness. You don't see curve this way, and you don't see curve this fucking way. You just don't. And the end point is this. I said, yes, okay, fine. I know of an instance where water can curve. Okay. And it just so happens, I was watching some dumb video. I don't remember. Maybe it was a good video. I don't even remember. And it was showing static electricity on a fucking handheld balloon. Okay. And you leave the water faucet running very, steady but slow fucking stream so that you can see the effect with the static balloon, and you let the water flow and you pull the balloon to the side and the water will stay in flow with the shape of the balloon. Okay. It's like a kid's experiment and stuff. Yeah, that's water curving, but water that's falling from up to down, be it from gravity or non-gravity, whatever that force is that makes things go from up to down, or has the potential to make things go from up to down. That up and down motion of water and it curving this way and that is completely fucking different than water that's no longer descending. It's reached its lowest point, like a surface of water. Okay. That's resting. Okay. Two completely fucking different things. He didn't even want to entertain it. He kept trying to jibber jabber some other crap. Okay. Because I was tearing him apart. The fact that he needed to define these fucking things and he couldn't, and he was failing. And like whatever argument he was trying to weasel in there, I was just like deconstructing the whole motivation behind his argument. Okay. And he didn't like it. So he kept trying to change the subject. Not many people can tolerate certain characters out here long enough to stay in contact with them and break down their shit, because other factors about that person can intimidate people, Yeah, I can be intimidated too. Oh yeah, I could definitely be intimidated by people, you know. But overall, it's not really all that intimidating. I don't think there's anybody out there that I need to like worry about like that, you know. I don't think there's enough malice and harm in this whole topic of this whole arena of discussion for anyone to really have that kind of hatred for anybody on that level. But shit, what was I talking about? Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like it that I broke down his shit. So what now when we go into the whole section of resting water, we can talk about waves. I had to bring waves into it for him because he refused to even go there. I brought it in there for him. Maybe he entrapped me. Maybe he sucked me in to try to get me to go this way. But I was like, okay, I don't know. I broke it down to now we're talking about resting water. And with resting water, there can be waves. And he goes, waves are curve. I'm saying, okay, now we have to define curve. He said, nope, I win. You know, about himself. He's saying, nope, JLB wins. And I was like, no, the only way an ocean wave can be seen as curving, okay, is either like, you know, viewed from above, I guess, maybe, but really viewed from the side in a cross section. If you view a wave from the fucking side in a cross section, and you see this part right here, and you could say that crest of a wave is water curving. Now, see, there's a force being applied to that water. You could argue that the force is what's curving and the water is just following along to whatever force is happening. Okay? So the water isn't even curving per se on that level. Not only that, okay? The water is only curving from the side, from a cross section. And then I had to even throw in the term for him, you know, as I was telling one of my good buddies here on Skype, I had to throw in the term bulge for him to use to even substantiate his bullshit claim in the first place. So he's like, okay, fine, bulge, you know? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So a bulge in something, it proves nothing because we're talking about force that's being applied to it. And it is totally different than water that's moving from up to down. He didn't want to hear it. Those ocean waves that have that bulge to them when viewed from a cross section from the side only in that circumstance and are constantly evolving, changing and lowering and rising and fucking ebbing and flowing. Okay. Those are really linear things, you know, pretty much generally linear things and have nothing to do with the argument that John LeBon is basing this whole bullshit word salad fucking gish gallop, as Tim Osman would say, fucking game of just attitudinal fucking superiority and basically a narcissist game, you know. And who better to take on for John LeBon than me? The two of us are both very narcissistic fucking pricks. Okay, he fucking knows it, and I definitely know it. Okay, so who better? And, you know, I showed him up a little bit. He didn't like it. So you guys are never going to see that video. You know, he might even use this opportunity to say, hey, you guys can see it behind my paywall. And good luck, John. And you know what, John LeBon? Let's make it official. You can use that clip. You can use this clip right here, this section. And so let's see here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that fucking those cross-section bulges of linear waves, generally linear waves, have nothing to do with fucking overall oceans curving on a sphere Earth or a LeBon Earth. Okay? Nothing to do with that. Those little crests and troughs, I think they're called. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Are on the fucking microcosm, PMARS. And on the macrocosm, John LeBon is claiming that because water can curve in these two crazy little circumstances that I had to dig deep myself and find. Okay. It doesn't add up. It's microcosm and macrocosm. It's the big and the little, the large and the local. And that's kind of what John LeBon likes to do with a lot of things. Okay, guys? So just be wary of that. Go back and watch some of his videos. You'll see that that's pretty much his gimmick. Is just taking the microcosm and the fluke instances that happen therein, excuse me, and equating them, false equivalencies, false equivalence, okay, whatever it may be, the correct way of saying that, to the macrocosm. It didn't work this time, and it definitely has been now officially shot down, smacked down by Validation Boy when it comes to curving water. Okay? Because on the macrocosm, guess what, motherfuckers? Never been seen, never been proven to exist. Okay? Ocean bulge waters, sphere waters. Never been seen. Show us the footage. Can't do it. We live in a realm. The sky could be fake. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know, it's just shocking. It's stunning because John LeBon wants to say that he's all Mr. Logic, King Logic, Logic Captain, you know? And he boasts about how he did his, like, you know, low-level courses in college and stuff on those matters. But to be fair to John LeBon, I think he's even admitted himself that the studies that he's done on those levels, he's even far surpassed as just an individual deciding to do research in the public library system, you know. And that could be the same for all of us. College is a scam, you know. You can learn way more than a college student just spending your own time researching things. That's true. That is true. There was an era in my life where I did do a fair amount of, you know, research on things. It was pre my knowledge of, like, you know, Jesuit world orders and fucking Jewish controlled medias and fucking Germanic fucking British controlled fucking blood thrones, which work with like black magic and the drinking of dead children's blood and shit like that, you know, before I really knew all that stuff. Man, there's a fucking documentary. I gotta link it in here. I hope it still exists. If it does exist, I'll provide the link. If it doesn't exist, I won't provide the fucking link. But this documentary is called The Evil King Zion. It's a fucking masterpiece. It's like 2 parts, and each part is like a good hour 40 or something like that. It's a solid fucking documentary. I'm gonna try to link it in this motherfucking video for you guys to go watch The Evil King Zion. It gives you a fucking reality check on what's going on. Okay, it's a lot of the shit that Issa Mahal brings up too. It puts to rest a lot of those issues. That it confirms a lot of the stuff that Issa Mahal talks about. In fact, the fact that America never won jack fucking shit from the swine ruled fucking Germanic fucking empires and shit. Anyways, I was gonna, I already broke down John LeBon's false equivalencies when comparing micro flukes to macro fucking realities. Okay. Other than that, his OBS test video, is something that you guys are never gonna see. It breaks my fucking heart. It was a real good showing. He was even being kind of a dickhead and talking about, I'm only gonna let you in here, VB, if you're not stoned out of your fucking mind and all this shit. It's like, come on, bro. We had a fantastic talk because I wasn't. We were on there for 2 hours and it was nonstop, back and forth. And I had you kind of scrambling to the sidelines to try to come from the flank with whole different strategies. Eventually, one was even like, okay, let's put it all to rest and let's go back to when we were besties and let's play a game and I'm going to record it and that's fine. I hope that was out of sincerity, but it also looked like someone who might have been losing a battle on their own show. My logic seems to span a broader spectrum than John LeBon's. I don't know how this is. I kind of look up to the guy for his logician fucking abilities. I think he's really not necessarily admirable, but very, very interesting and noteworthy and watchable and studyable and worthy of study, you know, for a skeptic, or even as Timmy Osman has dubbed him, an empirical skeptic or skeptical empiricist, excuse me. So it's hard for me to say that because I feel like John LeBon will be fucking mad at me for saying that. But I don't know. I just sometimes I could just see straight through everything that he's trying to get at. And I see his strategies, and I see where they're unfolding into the future. I don't know. See, I guess John, he didn't want to air that. He just got all jacked up with his new OBS technology, and he doesn't want to air episode 1, which has Validation Boy, and it's probably one of the best episodes he's ever fucking had in his life. I mean, ever in his history of YouTube, because we fucking went at it for a minute. And he doesn't want to leave it up. I don't know. And he gets all that OBS tech, and then now he just wants to say that he's taking a break. Oh, you know, you know, what a fucking letdown, John LeBon. Disappointing. All your fucking fans, all your PMARs, nut scratchers, you know what I'm saying? Ankle biters and shit that you have, you know? You're letting them all down, bro. And, you know, me and John LeBon, we are still friends. Even though I'm sitting here talking trash. No, I do have respect for him. Me and him have had many long conversations in the past where I would say if he was in my city, I would, hands down, I would go hang out with John LeBon, fully trust him, have no kind of feelings of aggression, you know, towards John LeBon in a confrontational manner, you know. It'd be good times. We'd get along like chaps, as they say, you know. Mates. Well mates, you know. Everyone's giving thumbs ups. Someone over here says summer colds are the worst. Ugh. There's a heavy presence from unexpected people, including Cigar Face, who's just nothing but frowns. Someone, Test Vision says, I had a dream Twitwit killed Timmy. Shanked him in his sleep. Oh, yeah. I think we'll just talk about Timmy O next. I think I'm going to take another break. You know how Validation Boy fucking live stream goes? You fucking trolling bastards. Oh, man. Cigar Face says, will you ever have an FE gathering at NASA VB? Why? Because I live so close to NASA? No. Wow. Seems like there's so much drama tonight, you know? And IPS is banning people and shit. Yep. Someone named Maria says, aren't we humans supposed to be working together in everything? I mean, yes, sometimes, but not all the time. It's hard, you know, to know what some flat earth people talk about, or the place that some flat earth proponents come from emotionally when they present their message to the world on YouTube. Okay. Oh my God. Man, Daylight Ohio says we are bound to it. I think they're talking about my channel. And then Schlominger says it's like a narcissist magnet channel. I think he's talking about me, or maybe he's talking about IPS. I don't know. See, I'm such a fucking narcissist that I think he's talking about me. How sick is that? I'll admit it, though. I'll admit it, okay? Schlominger says the IPS channel, of course. Test Vision says, when you see a chat full of nothing but wrenches, it's a sign of a cult. Frowny face. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like this weird situation that's going on over there. And it's like, almost at this point, it's like a comedy movie. It's like a skit, part of a comedy role that's playing out, you know, or something. And it's like a movie script almost, you know, where there's like this army of lemmings that have the wrench, and then they like have their little community and they network with each other, and they all agree to sub to each other's channels and funnel each other's shit to each other. I don't know, you know. I guess I'm just like the old fucking class of 2015, I guess. 16. I mean, well, really, I'm class of 2011 when it comes to flat Earth, you know. But man, I'm way the fuck back in the chat. Okay, Dick Trippin' Balls has joined. I'm not sure if I said that already. And The Way joins us and says, IPS equals fascism. He is a plant sent to FE to divide. Lee Harvey Hitler has joined us. Good to have you in here. Dick Trippenball says, he, IPS, is not a true flat earther. See, that's everyone holds that to their own opinion. I think Tim Osman asked him if he believes in the flat earth. It's very interesting what he says. I'll link the fucking videos down below. I ain't got time to cover all that nonsense. I think I've been listening to too much fucking Tim Osman lately. I think I'm just a fucking fool. I just I listen to other shows pretty steadily, but unfortunately that's one of the few that's out there that's, I know Tim never goes live. You know, I guess he did go live that one time and talk from the Denver meetup, but I missed it. The Way says, we have to use discernment at Mariah. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. Thanks for joining the show. Certain personalities are dangerous to the community as a whole. So must be very careful who we support. Yeah, I'm way back in chat. Schlominger says, we need to free the wrench. Wrench. Look at Wrench. There's an account called Wrench, and they're using the fucking emoticon. Or is that pointing or saying agreeing? Let me go, he says. They say. Let him go already. Oh, here goes. It's Maria. Okay. Wrench says, I am benign. Your wrenches are. IPS's and wrenches are not benign. They're savages. They're beastly. Muscle Car Rock Lover joins us and says, I think Elvis John has left the room bored. Boy, you're talking to yourself. Buy some more wings, Flyboy. It skipped me down to the bottom. Muscle Car. No, I'm not even going to read your fucking comment because you said it 1,000 times and that's not even funny anymore. You're dumb. P-Mar says, I had a dream everyone on YouTube was nice and friendly to each other. Heart, big pink heart. Prevarication Detector, once again, chimes in and says, John LeBon and Validation Boy, I'd like to see the debate. If it isn't uploaded, it's likely that JLB lost the fight. Interesting comment. Thanks, Prevarication Detector. Yeah. Muscle Car Rock Lover says, VB debating John LeBon was like a clever schoolboy pulling wings off a fly. I mean, yeah, I mean, no, it was more like me coming in and sideswiping everything he was trying to get at and derailing the shit out of his entire thing. So he just kept coming in from the flank with different crazy fucking strategies and elements of fucking production. Plus the fact that he was on OBS and like you couldn't see my face, I guess. I'm not sure if you could or not because I never actually watched it on YouTube live while I was on the show participating. I was just in to hang out with him. I didn't have it open in a window anywhere or nothing. I should have. But, you know, see my face or not didn't matter. It was the same as any other night. I spent half the time in here, half the time outside smoking fucking cigarettes on my phone and talking to him. PMAR's like a complete and utter fucking moron. Chimes in with validation boy. Your conversation with John LeBon was a microcosm of how you lose every discussion you enter. PMAR's, don't be fucking ridiculous, bro. That's so funny. You know that I'm that thorn in your fucking side, bro. Look at you here on my fucking show. Look at you on my fucking live chat. I'm that thorn in your side that never goes away. I don't even watch your show. I don't even know when you're live. Not even subbed. I haven't participated in how many of your fucking shows that you've done now. But here you are, still crawling back to validation boy, looking for your own validation from the validation boy. See, to every participant out there, validation boy can mean something quite different. For some, it's a channel through which they feel victory. And for others, it's absolute dread and defeat. And when they see me, when they hear me, they can't help but look away because I am their punisher. I'm their dominator. I'm their master. I'm the thorn that's in their side. Okay? Psychically in there. Everything that you run through your head, you run through VB's argument. You test the tangibility of the objects that you have never been to in theoretical fucking worlds of magic in the pits of your mind. And you proclaim it on YouTube that people are stupid because they don't trust that the stars are exactly what the fucking system and your science textbooks told you that they are. You're one of the most ridiculous people out here if you really believe that. And I know, PMARS, that you're smarter than that. I know you're a lot smarter than that. And I know that part of this is just you putting on an act. And I think Jed called it. Jed put on a great show, motherfuckers. He called it on PMARS when he said there's Globers out here who are just in it for the community, just like the Flat Earthers are too. I'm going to take a break. Be right back in about 5-10 minutes. All right, guys. We're back. I mean, come on. We're back again. Going to be rounding out the show here real soon. I guess, I had a section on Timmy that I was going to talk about, but, Timmy Osman is kind of like the running theme in a lot of Validation Boy shows. I'll admit it, it's a great source of drama, but so's a lot of other people, a lot of other names that get dropped, hashtag Flat Earth Validation Boy fucking drama shit, whatever. But, it was interesting. There's been a development. Okay. Jeremy Hornsby. Okay. It's probably not the same person as Tim Osman. Who knows? Who really knows? All that's known is that Tim Osman lives in Denver, went live, went to the Flat Earth Denver Hangout, which was at some place where people were playing volleyball or something. And he had his setup there, and he was live streaming, and it was him, and it was his voice. And these dudes walked up, and they got him on camera and put him in their video collage, which I'll link below, And Tim said on his show afterwards that he doesn't even care because he's not even trying to hide his face this whole time. It's just that, he just didn't want to put his face out there, whatever. He wasn't even scared, So he let these guys film him and everything. And so, my cat's insane. All right, but it looks as though that, Tim Osman's been captured on film. Now, it could still be argued that that's not Tim Osman we are seeing at the 38-second mark. Tim Osman commented on the video itself in reply to someone else saying that, yes, it was him. Now, if real Tim Osman was Jason Hornsby, showed up, had this conversation, talked to them later, and said, look, let's do this. Let's do it this way. Film somebody, one of your buddies, anybody. With a phone and headphones and a beanie on, and then splice it in and say that it was me. I'll agree that it's me. That could be a game that's being played. I mean, we're talking about the Wild West. We're talking about people in Colorado. And everybody in Colorado is like, got that individual right to be kind of a little bit of a vigilante for themselves, or for their own best interests in some ways, especially when it comes to the heat that can be packed. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing about, Timmy could also be neither Jason Hornsby nor the guy in the fucking thing, and convince them that the guy in the thing will be better to be known as Tim Osman, so that the real Jason Hornsby out there can stop getting harassed. But that's me looking at things in a completely speculative and very positive natured fucking way. So we're way down here. Timmy himself with a devil icon has joined us. Tim posted his link in the fucking chat here. So do whatever you guys got to do. You can copy paste it or whatever the fuck. Go watch it, yeah. Lewis Hackett says, don't mumble. Who is Lewis Hackett? Oh, Lewis is that fucking guy. Oh, man. That's the one I was teasing in the chat, calling him, saying that he looked like Omni Eros' little brother. But other people were saying that he looks like Johnny Knoxville little brother. He's the illegitimate love bastard of Johnny Knoxville. Oh, man. I was just fucking with the guy. Man, that guy seems to be one of those people who has been coddled and told that they're really smart their whole life by people, some certain people around them, and been fooled, been fooled. But and it's resulted in poor decision making when in social situations, So anyways, he says it's a full video of me here, dude. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to rig all that. And he says, what a dumb. I'm out. Tim. Tim says, you go watch it, clown shoes. Well, hey, if there's a full video of Tim being that guy, and I hear that voice come out of that dude's fucking face on that camera, and it better sync up real fucking good, and I believe that that's you, then I'll put it to rest. But I don't even care. I don't even care what you look like or who you are. I'll still call you Tim Osman. I heard John LeBon was doxxed. And guess what, people? I don't even want to know John LeBon's name. I don't want to even know. I'll never call him anything but John LeBon. So you doxing yourself, or putting your, not even doxing, but really just putting your face out there, as long, if people are that interested, because there's a large faction of people out here who are definitely interested in such things. And I guess it does take a lot of guts for Timmy to put his face out there. If that is the real Tim Osman we're seeing in that video by, I believe the channel is named Earth Pond. Yeah. They got like 170 subscribers currently. Schlominger says his face went into train wreck mode. Whose face went into train wreck mode? Prevarication detector says Timmy changes his voice apparently. I don't know about all that. Lewis Hackett says your stream doesn't even synchronize that well. I'm on standard Google Hangout YouTube fucking live stream. You don't have to write in all caps there, Lewis. Little Lewis. You know. I wonder if Lewis is sitting with his leg up in his chair, you know, like a little cutie patootie right now as he watches this and gets all fired up and hates Validation Boy. I wonder if he's my new sub that just subbed me. I'm going to go look, see if Lewis Hackett just subbed Validation Boy earlier today. Whew. A lot of thumbs up for the Muddies. P. Mars says global warming proves the sun is closer. Oh, man. I guess that could be argued without really any real proof. Yeah, I mean, like, you know. So apparently Timmy showed up at the Denver thing, and they said that he looked like, they kept saying that he looked like the Unabomber. Like he had shades on and a hoodie and shit or something. Well, that's not what we saw in that clip now, is it? If you want to be a real skeptic. I understand, you know, it's a time of war and there's like sides and there's like money involved now. There's like reputations and internet presence, egos at stake, you know, in this isolated arena that only exists in the minds of people like Validation Boy or, you know, you name it down the list, you know. I can't even, there's so many channels out there. Anyone who's a fucking flat earther openly declares that they think the earth is probably flat. All right, guys. I'll be back in just a second. I got to take a quick break. I'll be back in just a minute, literally. So anyways, as I was saying, yeah. Schleminger says, watch the clip, VB. It's the confrontation from yesterday. Yeah. I mean, just whatever. Just what channel is it on? Is it on Timmy's channel? Where's it at? Steve Anthony says, flat earth reality, the true global conspiracy. Oh, man. P-Mar says, science rules. Well, here's the thing. I got 20 viewers going right now. I mean, I kind of already talked about a lot of what I wanted to talk about. Well, anyways. It's been a lot of fucking fun. I'm going to cut it off before it hits 2 hours because it makes it a whole lot easier for me to fucking deal with after the fact. And we'll just see what happens, you know? We'll see how many people end up watching the video. There's not much to be said anymore, you know? Flat Earth is a fucking inward thing. It's an inward fucking journey. It's an inward journey. I think it's more spiritual than anything else. I think it's more intellectual and more logical than any other approach. It holds such high implications that in a way it is indeed its own faith, its own religion, I hate to say. It's what it seems like lately. That seems to be the corner that top flat earth representatives are willing to be painted into by the critics. That seems to be the theme. Timmy even went so far as to have some pretty questionable guests on as of late. And a small legion seems to be forming. I'll give that bastard credit. Love you, Tim Osman. I hope to see that documentation is accurate. Just out of curiosity, just in a friendly way, to see who I'm talking to this whole time. That's all. No malice intended. I know you understand. I know it's probably fun for you when the first time you saw Validation Boy's fucking face. Tim Osman. Oh, man. Satan says, VB, what model are the flat earthers planning to plot the eclipse on? I don't know, because I don't use the sky for anything. I don't use the North Star Polaris to prove anything about the shape of the ground. I even heard Jed repeat me. I even heard Haunted House repeat me recently. I've heard a lot of people finally catching on to the concept recently. And it makes me feel good inside. You know, no one will ever say where they were nudged in this direction with this idea that they got. You know, they'll never say Validation Boy. It's a cruel world, you know. It's okay though, because I understand. I'm in the deepest, darkest corner. I'm the fucking dark wizard. For all you flat earth dogmatists out there that love knowing that we have a creator, that we have to give thanks to our creator for all the blessings that our creator gives us. Our divine and benevolent, hopefully benevolent creator who's omnipotent and pure of intent and deity, divine, excuse me. Got to give them praise. And we live in our creator's realm. That's what's going on. We have to give praise. That's what it really boils down to in the end. You have to thank your creator for protecting you from the harmful intent of others. You have to realize that the flat earth really is a different way of thinking about how you're going to interact with fellow people, whatever medium that may be on. Excuse me if I'm distracted today, guys. I experienced some of the worst pain I've ever experienced in my entire life earlier today. Man, it was rather vicious. Trip to the dentist. Everything is beautiful now, but beauty comes at the price of pain. Oh, so painfully too often, you know? And there's a little bit of pain. Eventually the pain will go away. But let's just say sometimes things have to get slid up under your fucking exposed gums shit. And, you know, jammed into position and alignment and shit. And, you know, today, I guess it was not deemed necessary to give me any kind of anesthetic for the finishing procedures of what was done today. And I paid the price for it, but thank God for Tylenol, or Aleve, actually. endorsement. You know. So, anyways. Maria says there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, which is possible only on Earth. Yeah, there was definitely some fucking gnashing of fucking teeth today. But, you know, it comes at a price, you know, a heavy price. Minor debt, a lot of pain, but the pain subsides. And, you know, people do things for the betterment of their life. Sometimes when you know that the service of other people is something that you need and that it's worth a specific value or a price can be put on it, and you work and earn wages to pay for that thing that you needed for the betterment of your life, you feel like a little bit less of a slave, even though the illusion is still there, you know. But the struggle is fucking real. And a lot of you fucking weird fuckers out there know that to be true. You know that to be the case. Even if you're time you spend inward is completely unmanageable and demented and useless. At that point, you're gnashing your teeth. Schlumberger says, religion is for peeps who stop to think for themselves. I don't need a priest or rabbi to be told what's right or wrong. Here's the thing, Schlumberger. You've never really read through the, like the King James Version Bible with a knowledgeable pastor who really knows what the fuck they're talking about. If you understand the Christ, Jesus Christ, I would compare Jesus Christ a lot more to a survivalist than to Al Gore. Let's just put it that way. Jesus Christ is highly relatable. Many argue that Jesus Christ is the creator born into the flesh. Something very interesting to think about, right? You gotta ask for forgiveness. You gotta ask for blessings. You know that you make mistakes all through your life and that you do things out of pure malice. People need to check themselves. People need to look inward. All that being said, hopefully everyone can remain positive. Hopefully everyone can remain positive, at least for themselves. I'm not saying towards a greater community at all. I'm saying just for themselves inwardly. And let the fucking hate flow. I like it that you guys despise Validation Boy, you critics, you skeptics. I love it that you despise me. You can consider me your fucking intellectual fucking enemy, your intellectual arch nemesis, someone that you cannot conquer, someone that you cannot defeat, someone who, no matter what you ask him, will always come back on a bigger and broader scale than any puny weakling shit you were trying to get at. With that being said, it's been such a joy having all you fucking live chat participants join me tonight. And thanks to all those who watch it at a later date as well. This has been Validation Boy live stream, June 21st, 2017.